Hi, I'm attorney Ben Schwartz, and today I was asked to do a video about time limits in personal injury cases. And what I'd like to do is do something a little bit different than talk about time limitations in personal injury cases. We've done other videos and we've talked about what is a statute of limitations. And if you've been watching our videos, if you've been following what we've been doing, you'll already know that in every state, the law limits the time in which you can bring a lawsuit. The law limits the time in which you can file a lawsuit against an at-fault party who's caused you personal injuries. So that should be no big surprise. But what I want to do, what I want to do today is a video, and I'm going to call this video "Time is Not on Your Side." 3 ways that good people can screw up good personal injury cases by taking their time. Number 1, if you are injured in an accident, there are things that we have to prove. The burden of proof is on you and me, or you and whoever represents you, in order to prove the case. And in order to carry our burden of proof, in order to establish the things that we need to prove, we need to be able to show that the at-fault party was at fault. We need to be able to show that you have injuries, and we need to be able to show that the at-fault party caused the injuries. And the more time that goes by between the date of the accident or the date of the incident and the date on which you first start treating for your injuries, the less likely it is that I'm going to be able to prove that the injuries came from that accident or that incident. And so the first thing that I see people do, now I realize I'm a little bit of a hypocrite when it comes to this, because I'm the guy that gets sick and I just refuse to go to the doctor. My wife is always harping on me every time I get a cold, why don't you go to the doctor? And I don't like going to the doctor, and I'll avoid it at all costs, and I only go if I really think I'm going to die. So I realize this is a little bit hypocritical for me to say, but if you've been injured in an accident, the last thing that you want to do is wait to get medical attention. You want to go and get medical attention sooner rather than later, because one day you may have a lawyer like me sitting at counsel table at trial with a jury, and the jury's going to be wondering if you waited a month or 6 weeks or 2 months to go to the doctor in the first place. A, were you really injured in the first place? And B, were you really injured in the accident that you claim the injuries came from? And that's a legitimate question that the jury or the judge is going to have. The second way good people screw up good personal injury cases is by waiting to report the accident in the first place. A lot of the cases that we see are things like premises liability cases, like slip and fall cases, for example. So in a slip and fall case, if you're in a store, most major retailers have cameras, have video, have a reporting system where the manager on duty has to take a report, has to identify the witnesses, has to identify what caused the accident, and has to gather evidence there at the time of the accident, at the scene of the accident, and preserve that material. If you wait to report your slip and fall accident to the manager on duty at the store, the witnesses are gone. The video may record and only be kept for 48 hours or 3 days, and by the time you report the accident, the video may have overwritten itself and be gone. And so by waiting to report your accident to the store, what you're doing is you're creating a situation where the evidence is going to be lost, and that was the evidence that you needed to make your case. The third thing that good people do to screw up their cases, to screw up good personal injury cases, is they wait to get a lawyer. We have people that contact our office, 1 year, 11 months, and 2 weeks after the accident, and if it's a Delaware accident, you've got a 2-year statute of limitations. When you only leave a lawyer a little thin slice of time to meet with you, learn all the facts of the case, and file a lawsuit, you're creating a very dangerous situation because that lawyer has to identify all applicable defendants, all people, all companies, all entities that had responsibility for causing the dangerous condition that led to your injuries, and that lawyer has to file a lawsuit against all those people and companies within the statute of limitations period. Now, in some states it's longer. Some states it's 3 years. Maryland it's 3 years. Delaware it's generally 2 years for personal injuries. Some states it's different. Sometimes it's shorter. But the last thing you want to do to a lawyer is wait until the last minute and then try and get them to file a lawsuit for you, because you're putting them in a very difficult position, and you're putting them in a position where, quite frankly, you're increasing the likelihood that the lawyer will not be able to identify and file a lawsuit against all responsible parties. And if that happens, you got a problem. It may impact your ability to receive fair compensation for your injuries. So there you have it. That's the 3 ways to screw up a good personal injury claim, because the truth of the matter is that if you're the client, if you're the injured person in a personal injury case, time is not on your side. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video interesting, entertaining, and informative. If you have questions for me, particularly questions that I can answer on our video blog, please email me. My name is Ben Schwartz. My email address is ben.schwartz@schwartzandschwartz.com. You can also go on our Facebook page, facebook.com/schwartzandschwartz, and leave us a comment there.